Hello everyone. Through this video lecture, I will going to explain you the another topic from the matrices, which is Sylvester theorem. The learning outcome of the topic is the student will be able to apply Sylvester theorem to calculate functions of matrix A such as A inverse, A raised to power n, E raised to power a, and like this, and you will be able to verify some trigonometric identities for the matrix. This is Sir James Joseph Sylvester, who stated the Sylvester theorem as if a square matrix A has n distinct eigenvalues lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3, so on up to lambda n, all are distinct, and P of A is a polynomial in matrix A of the form C0 I plus C1A plus C2A square plus so on plus Ck A raised to power k, where C0, C1, C2, so on Ck are all constants and I is a unit matrix of order n. Then P of A can be expressed in the form that P of A is equal to summation r from 1 to n P of lambda r into Z of lambda r, where Z of lambda is nothing but equal to adjoint of lambda I minus a upon phi dash of lambda. And here we have to find out Z of lambda for all the eigen values, and phi of lambda is equal to determinant of lambda I minus a, and if you differentiate phi of lambda with respect to lambda, you will get phi dash of lambda. Now the working method. In step number 1, you have to obtain the matrix lambda I minus a. In the case of eigenvalues and eigenvector, we used to find out the characteristic equation by taking the determinant of the matrix A minus lambda I. But with the Sylvester theorem, first we have to obtain the matrix lambda I minus a and then find out the characteristic equation by equating determinant lambda I minus a with 0 and get the eigenvalues for the matrix A. In step number 3, represent characteristic equation by phi of lambda and then differentiate it with respect to lambda to get phi dash of lambda. In step number 4, you have to find out the adjoint of the matrix lambda I minus a. In the next step, find out Z of lambda, which is nothing but equal to adjoint of lambda I minus a upon phi dash of lambda, and substitute all these values in the Sylvester theorem, that is P of A equal to summation r from 1 to n P of lambda r into Z of lambda r. Now let's take the example. Here we have to find out A raised to power 50 by using Sylvester theorem, and where A is the matrix of order 2 cross 2, which is equal to 1 0 0 3. Now for this matrix A, we have to first find out the matrix lambda I minus a, which is equal to lambda minus 1 0 0 lambda minus 3. Now I will suggest you a simple trick to obtain the matrix lambda I minus a is that subtract the diagonal elements from the lambda and change the sign of non-diagonal elements of matrix A. Now here the non-diagonal elements are 0, so there is no need to change its sign. Now obtain the characteristic equation by equating lambda determinant lambda I minus a with 0. Now by the usual way, we have to find out the determinant of lambda I minus a, that is what by the shortcut method, and it is lambda square minus sum of the diagonal elements into lambda plus determinant of a equal to 0. This is the shortcut method to obtain the characteristic equation for 2 cross 2 matrices. So here we have the characteristic equation as lambda square minus 4 lambda plus 3 equal to 0, and after solving this quadratic equation we get the roots as 1 and 3. Let's denote the roots by lambda 1 and lambda 2. So these two roots are distinct, so we can apply the Sylvester theorem for the distinct roots. Now further, phi of lambda is nothing but equal to characteristic equation, and if we take the differentiation of phi of lambda with respect to lambda, we get phi dash of lambda, that is equal to 2 lambda minus 4. Now find out adjoint of lambda I minus a. Now adjoint for 2 cross 2 matrix can be easily obtained by interchanging the diagonal element and change the sign of non-diagonal element. So here I have interchanged the diagonal element from the matrix lambda I minus a. So adjoint of lambda I minus a becomes lambda minus 3. Here we need to change the sign of non-diagonal element, but here both the non-diagonal elements are 0, so there is no need to change the sign here, and that's why the matrix we obtained is lambda minus 3 0 0 lambda minus 1. Now define z of lambda, which is adjoint of lambda I minus a upon phi dash lambda. Substitute the values for adjoint and phi dash of lambda and we'll get the function like lambda minus 3 0 0 lambda minus 1 upon 2 lambda minus 4. Now give it as equation number 1. Now whatever we have to verify or find, that is nothing but P of A. So let P of A is equal to a raised to power 50 that we want to evaluate. By Sylvester theorem, P of A is equal to P of lambda 1 into Z of lambda 1 plus P of lambda 2 into Z of lambda 2. Because we just have two eigenvalues, so we have to run the summation for 1 and 2, are equal to 1 and 2. Substituting lambda 1 and lambda 2 in equation number 1, we get Z of 1 is equal to 1 minus 3 0 0 1 minus 1 divided by 2 into 1 minus 4, and the resultant matrix that we obtained for lambda 1 or Z of lambda 1 is 1 0 0 0, and similarly for Z of lambda 2, that is Z of 3, substitute or replace lambda by 3 in equation number 1, we get the matrix as 0 0 0 1. Now everything is ready, so we need to substitute the values of P of lambda 1, Z of lambda 1, P of lambda 2 and Z of lambda 2 in equation 2. So equation 2 becomes a raised to power 50. For getting P of lambda 1, we have to replace a by lambda 1. So here lambda 1 is 1, so 1 raised to power 50. This is the matrix for Z of lambda 1 plus replace a by lambda 2, so that we get 3 raised to power 50, and this is a matrix for Z of lambda 2. Now multiplying the matrices with the constant terms and adding these two matrices as it is of same order, we get the value for a raised to power 50, which is equal to 1 raised to power 50 0 0 3 raised to power 50. Now let's have another example. Here the question is, using Sylvester theorem, show that 3 tan A is equal to tan 3 times of A, and the given matrix is minus 1 4 2 1, which is of order 2 cross 2. Here find out the matrix lambda I minus A, which is easily obtained by subtracting diagonal elements from lambda. So this become lambda plus 1, and here at the second diagonal position we get lambda minus 1, and change the sign of non-diagonal element, so it becomes minus 4 and minus 2. So matrix lambda I minus A becomes lambda plus 1 minus 4 minus 2 lambda minus 1. Characteristic equation is given by determinant of lambda I minus A equal to 0, and by shortcut method we get characteristic equation as lambda square minus 9 equal to 0, and the roots of characteristic equation are nothing but the eigenvalues which are 3 and minus 3. So denote lambda 1 as a 3 and lambda 2 as minus 3. Further, phi of lambda is equal to lambda square minus 9 and phi dash lambda become 2 lambda. Now adjoint of lambda I minus a is obtained by interchanging the diagonal element and by changing the sign of non-diagonal element. Now z of lambda is adjoint of lambda I minus a upon phi dash lambda. Substitute the value for adjoint and phi dash and give it as equation number 1. Now we have to verify that 3 tan a is equal to tan 3 times a. So left hand side becomes our p of a. So here p of a is equal to 3 times of tan a. And by Sylvester theorem, for two eigenvalues we have the formula as p of a is equal to p of lambda 1 into z of lambda 1 plus p of lambda 2 into z of lambda 2. Give it as equation number 2. And now try to find out the values for z of lambda 1 and z of lambda 2 by substituting lambda 1 and lambda 2 in equation 1. So z of lambda 1, that is z of 3, is equal to 1 by 3 times 1 2 1 2, and z of minus 3 is equal to 1 by 3 times 2 minus 2 minus 1. If we replace lambda by 3 and minus 3 in equation number 1 respectively, you will get the values of z of 3 and z of minus 3. Substitute all these values in equation number 2. We get 3 tan a is equal to get the value of p of lambda 1, we have to replace a by 3, and to get the value of p of lambda 2, we have to replace a by minus 3. So this become 3 tan a is equal to 3 tan 3 into z of 3, which is 1 by 3 matrix 1 2 1 2, and plus 3 tan of minus 3, that is p of lambda 2, into z of lambda 2, that is z of minus 3, which is 1 by 3 2 minus 2 minus 1 1. This constant 3 get cancelled with 1 by 3. Here also it get cancelled with 1 of 3, and tan of minus 3 becomes minus of tan 3, because tan of minus theta is minus tan theta. Now tan 3 is a constant quantity, so we can take tan 3 common from both the matrices, and if we add these two matrices, we get the matrix as minus 1 4 2 1. This tan 3 is common, but this matrix minus 1 4 2 1 is nothing but the matrix A. So we have verified the trigonometric identity that 3 tan A is nothing but equal to tan 3 times of matrix A. Now in this next example, we are going to verify that log of e raised to power a to the base e is again equal to matrix A for the matrix A of order 2 cross 2, 0, 1, minus 2 and 3. So first of all, find out matrix lambda I minus A, which is nothing but equal to lambda minus 0, minus 1, 2, lambda minus 3, and the characteristic equation is given by lambda square minus 3 lambda plus 2 equal to 0, and the roots or the eigenvalues that we obtained are distinct, and let's denote that eigenvalues by lambda 1 and lambda 2, which are 1 and 2 respectively. Further, phi of lambda is lambda square minus 3 lambda plus 2, and if we differentiate with respect to lambda, we get phi dash of lambda, which is 2 lambda minus 3, and adjoint of lambda I minus a is lambda minus 3 1 minus 2 lambda. If we interchange the diagonal element and change the sign of non-diagonal element in the matrix lambda I minus a, we will get the adjoint of matrix lambda I minus a. Now further, we have to find out z of lambda, which is given by equation number 1, and whatever we want to show or verify, that is nothing but p of a. So p of a is equal to log of e raised to power a to the base e. By Sylvester theorem, we will get the equation number 2. Substituting lambda 1 and lambda 2 in equation 1 to get z of lambda 1 and z of lambda 2. So if we substitute z of lambda 1 is equal to 1, we get z of 1, which is matrix 2 minus 1 2 minus 1, and z of 2 will get minus 1, 1, minus 2, 2. So now z of lambda 1, z of lambda 2 is ready. P of lambda 1 and P of lambda 2 can be obtained by replacing A by lambda 1 and lambda 2 in the P of A. So equation 2 becomes, but log of e raised to power 1 to the base e is 1 and log of e raised to power 2 to the base e is 2. So we'll get the next equation as 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1 as it is, because this value for this is 1 and the value of e raised to power 2 to the base, the value of log of e raised to power 2 to the base e is 2. That's why 2 into minus 1, 1 minus 2, 2. And if we multiply the second matrix by 2, we'll get the resultant matrix as minus 2, 2, minus 4, 4. And add these two matrices, we get the matrix as 0, 1, minus 2, 3, which is the original matrix A. That's why log of e raised to power A to the base E is equal to A. It holds true for the matrix A. Now there is one more identity, that using Sylvester theorem we have to prove that sin square A plus cos square A is equal to identity matrix. We know that this identity holds true for any theta, but we have to verify the identity for the matrix also. So find out lambda I minus A matrix, obtain the characteristic equation, get the roots, denote phi of lambda which is equal to characteristic equation, take the derivative of phi of lambda to get phi dash lambda, obtain the adjoint of matrix lambda I minus A, define z of lambda, P of A is equal to sin square A plus cos square A. By Sylvester theorem we get the equation number 2. Substituting lambda 1 and lambda 2 in equation number 1, we get z of 2, that is z of lambda 1, and z of 3, that is z of lambda 2, and substitute all these values in equation number 2. So 2 becomes, the left hand side of the 2 is sin square A plus cos square A, that is P of A. It is equal to P of lambda 1, which is nothing but sin square 2 plus cos square 2. This is z of lambda 1 plus sin square 3 plus cos square 3 and into z of lambda 2. But sin square 2 plus cos square 2 or sin square 3 plus cos square 3 both are 1. So we just need to add these two matrices, that is z of lambda 1 and z of lambda 2, and addition of these two matrices is nothing but the identity matrix of order 2 cross 2, that is 1 0 0 1, which is nothing but equal to I. So this trigonometric identity of sin square A plus cos square A equal to I is holds true for the matrix A of order 2 cross 2. Now the important points or the takeaway points from this lecture are: Sylvester theorem is applicable to find the functions of matrices having all distinct eigenvalues. This is a very important. We can apply Sylvester theorem only for the distinct eigenvalues. With Sylvester theorem, one needs to find matrix lambda I minus A to obtain the eigenvalues and adjoint of lambda I minus A. Here the characteristic equation is denoted by phi of lambda, and phi dash lambda is obtained by differentiating phi of lambda with respect to lambda. The function to be evaluated is denoted by P of A. So that's it for this lecture. Thank you very much.